Students in the metrology program at Butler County Community College learn about the science through experimentation. An early exercise for the students is to measure the curved hallway at the new Science Center. The importance of how a measurement is made, the use of statistics, and thinking critically about the measurement device are emphasized. These are skills that are stressed throughout the program. The objective of the lab experiment was to teach students two things. First, that how you measure something is just as important as what you're measuring it with. And second, doing multiple measurements and taking an average minimizes error. You may have heard the adage, measure twice, cut once.
The lab that we're going to be doing today is based on the idea that errors are inherent in measurement. And depending upon what tool you use, the errors may be compounded. So what we're going to do in this lab is we're going to take something and we're going to try to show you how using different tools can expound those errors. So what you're going to do is take each of these three measuring tapes. They're different in length and some of them have different materials. And you're going to take those and measure the length of the hallway out here. Now I leave some of this vague as I want you guys to be thinking about the measurements. So we'll take the first floor, one group will take the second floor, and you're going to use each of the three tapes to measure the hallway. And we're going to take that data and we're going to tabulate it to come up with what we have defined as the length of the hall.
And how are we going to mark the end point? Like when we stop here, how are we going to mark it?
That's
what I'm going to do.
That's 12 feet, right?
Well, yeah, we were going to roll it up, but we have to measure it again. So we're going to the wall.
We got to figure out if there's the wall in there.
Listen, it's 2 feet, 11.5 inches. No, you're not changing that over to feet.
You know, what do you think? Have you been able to use more than one tape? You guys
30 foot, I think, was the best.
What's that?
I think the 30 foot was
the 30
the best.
foot was the best. Is that? Note what's going on. I doubt at this point that you had any two measurements that are exactly the same. So in an ideal world, you would get the same measurement every time. In the real world, that just doesn't happen.
The field of chemical metrology has some unique challenges of its own. Chemical metrology requires two steps. First is to determine what the components of a sample are. Then we can determine how much of each component is in the material. What is it needs to be asked before you can say how much. Chemical metrology has its own set of measurement standards. The simplest breakdown measures components in parts per million or percentages. But chemical metrology also may reflect pH standards, DNA testing procedures, and radiation levels. For example, a forensic scientist may take a soil sample from a victim's shoe. By analyzing what the sample is made of, they can then determine the quantities of elements within that soil and pinpoint it to a certain location. Those technicians may also be responsible for calibrating the equipment they use.
My name is Eunice Schottiker, and I am an alumni from Butler County Community College. I graduated from the metrology program. Currently, I am a technical writer, and I've held a lot of different positions as I went through my career. I started out in chemistry. I worked in the chemistry lab for a plating facility and helped them establish their document control, their routine analysis, control limits for the components in the solutions, and a better method of tracking their results. One of the things you might find interesting is that I did the gold accounting for the plating department while I worked there. The volume of gold that was actually used in that facility in a month's time could sometimes be as much as $250,000 per month. So gold plating bath samples and retained samples from all the product that was plated would have to be analyzed, and those results calculated out using the volume of product produced to determine if all the gold actually went where it was supposed to be. The field of electrical metrology started with the ampere, one of the 7 fundamental units.
Today, there are numerous established electrical units requiring standardization. The volt, the ohm, the farad, the henry, the watt, and the hertz, just to name a few. A large part of electrical metrology involves not only standardizing these units, but also testing and calibrating various electronic instruments. Instruments such as digital multimeters, oscilloscopes, power supplies, and function generators are used extensively throughout industry, and it's essential to make sure that they are all conforming to national standards. The field of electronics, probably more than any other, has exploded over the last 20 years. The first popular personal computers in 1985 ran at a whopping 4.77 megahertz. Today, microprocessors are over 1,000 times faster than they were just 20 years ago. Computation times that were being measured in thousandths of a second, or milliseconds, are now being measured in billionths of a second, or nanoseconds. You can't measure them with a stopwatch. It requires some very sophisticated measurement techniques and instrumentation, and the field of electrical metrology has had to keep up with that progression. Computer chips are getting faster, smaller, and even smarter with the advent of artificial intelligence. The advancements in electrical metrology are enabling scientists and engineers to continue this research.
Hi, my name is Ron Salkeld, and I'm the Director of Quality here at VECA Incorporated. Metrology was challenging to me because it made me think through a process. My classes at BC3 have provided me the education for the real-life experiences of industry.
In 1981, Butler County Community College pioneered one of the first comprehensive metrology programs in the nation. While most others were concentrating on a specific area, BC3 brought the disciplines together: electrical, physical, and chemical metrology. It's only fitting the new Science and Technology Center on campus is representative of how the programs have flourished. So, what jobs are available with a degree in metrology? Lots. From aerospace to manufacturing to service industries to the government. Equipment technicians calibrate instruments so that parts produced by one company fit precisely into the product of another company. Traditionally, graduates of the BC3 metrology program have experienced near 100% job placement, and nationally have earned starting salaries over $40,000 a year.
I'm Fred Vero. I work at 26 Incorporated. I am a documentation control supervisor, and I'm a BC3 alumni. Metrology is the study of precision measurement involving anything from electrical to chemical to optical, which is what we use here at 26. 26 Incorporated and BC3 have a great relationship. We employ a number of their graduates here. The metrology program affords a student a wide range of career opportunities.
The first big advantage about a degree in metrology is that you can get an associate's degree in applied science and be employable within 2 years. Many employers will even offer continuing education to obtain advanced degrees on top. 2 years versus 4 years is a lot less time to spend in school and will cost a lot less too. And graduates with a degree in metrology are in high demand across the country. Ever want to live in a big city? You can. Want to live in the deep south? You can. Want to stay close to home? You can. If you pick the location, chances are there are openings for someone with a degree in metrology. So, what do you need to get on track to that great degree in metrology? First of all is a love or an interest of science. If you've done well in high school algebra, physics, and/or chemistry, then a career in metrology might be right for you. If you have an analytical mind that enjoys working on things with attention to detail, a degree in metrology may be right for you. When you measure how you want to spend your life, consider a career in metrology. The science has come a long way, and it's constantly evolving. Whether you like the physical, chemical, or electrical fields, a degree in metrology will give you highly sought-after skills and the foundation to increase your potential. And it can all begin right here at Butler County Community College. It's the smart place to start.